Hi guys, welcome back. This week we are going to be drawing our dog. We are inspired by our artist, George Rodriguez. Now I have the step-by-step drawing here on how to draw your blue dog. You're going to hold your paper portrait style, which is vertically, and we're going to start with pencil. Now I'm using watercolor paper because we are going to be painting our project. Make sure this paper is a little bit thicker than our regular printer paper to allow the watercolor to absorb nicely when we start painting. Now I'm just going to follow mine step by step. There's a small graph line dividing the paper into 4 quadrants. Now I'm going to start with the head. Remember, we need to draw lightly because we're going to erase any lines that overlap. I'm just going to follow step by step, drawing my shapes and lines. Here where you connect where his belly is, make sure it lines up. I'm lightly going across just to make sure it lines up about where his outside paws are. Great job. Now I bet you already can tell where we need to erase before we trace with our black crayon or black oil pastel. We're going to erase this line right here. We don't want to show that. Now mine still shows a little bit, but it's coming up enough that I know not to trace it when I trace it with my black. So next, you're going to trace your dog with your black crayon or oil pastel, whatever you have at your house. All right, I have finished tracing my lines. Now it's kind of hard to see, but I do have a few pencil lines showing. I'm gonna just carefully erase any leftover pencil lines. Oops, careful not to smudge. I smudged a little bit of my black crayon I traced. All right, now the last line we're gonna draw with our pencil first, then our crayon or oil pastel is going to be the horizon line. The horizon line is the line where the sky meets the ground. You can choose where behind your dog your horizon line will be. I'm going to choose about the middle of my paper. Now, we're not going to draw across our dog. We're going to draw behind our dog. I'm going to carefully go on top. I'm not touching my paper to guide me to the other side where approximately my horizon line would be. Now my line is not perfectly straight. We do not need a ruler because the ground of the world is not perfectly straight. This could be any location on your paper. Great. Now we are all set and ready for next week, where we will paint our blue dog using our paint sets. Great job for today. Till next week, stay creative. There we go. Hi guys, here we are. We're gonna paint our dogs. Now, we're gonna talk about color and painting carefully around the edges to stay inside our shapes that we've drawn. First, we're going to wet our paintbrushes. I have a little water. You'll need a paper towel and your paint. I am using water paints. You can use any paints you have at your house. Get your brush wet first. Now, I've decided that my dog is going to be a cool color of blue. I'm going to lightly touch my blue paint and start at the top of my painting and work my way down. Why the top, you ask? If we started at the bottom, we might smudge or smear the paint that is still drying. I'm going to carefully do short and small brush strokes inside my dog's ear. Little more water, and do the other ear. Carefully going around the edges as I paint. Next, I'm gonna clean my brush and I'm gonna choose a contrasting color for my ears and the snout of my dog's nose. I'm gonna go for orange. Orange is the complementary color of blue, and it'll complement my dog's fur. A tip, make sure you stay inside your crayon or oil pastel lines where the colors will blend with the blue. All right, now we're ready for the background. I'm gonna think, if my dog's blue, what color should I definitely not use for my sky or my ground? That's right, blue. So since our dog is blue, we're not gonna use blue in the sky. I'm gonna use red. It's gonna be a sunset sky. I'm gonna start at the top and work my way down, back and forth brush motions.
I actually am gonna print some stuff real quick.
Yeah. Carefully going around the edges as not to mix in with your dog color.
I'll be back.
You know what I was thinking for these videos?
Oh,
did you make a fast forward part? Did you fast forward through some parts or no?
I did the whole thing and I cut some parts. So all of a sudden it was like paper was cut. Then the next thing you know, it's all in small pieces. That kind of
okay.
thing.
Gotcha.
I did an iMovie.
Yeah, iMovie.
So you just cut.
Oh, okay. I did, because sometimes I'll just fast forward, so like you can see that I painted, but it's just fast forward.
Right, you can do that.
And then I was like, well, maybe I was just thinking in my head, maybe should we not? Because then the kids could follow along. But then I guess we still paint faster, even in regular motion, than kids. All right, guys. Now we're gonna paint our ground. Now I am gonna use green, but I am gonna make sure I apply it lightly so there is a contrast to my blue dog, using the same brush strokes as before, going in the same direction. We always are pulling our paintbrush, never pushing it. Painting away from my dog. Awesome! I am finished my ground. I'm just gonna add a few little marks to add a little texture to my ground. Be creative, have fun, and I can't wait to see what color your dog is.